welcome to the Sports Plus Life podcast. This is episode number 40, the Sports Plus Life podcast, episode number 40, the Dirk Nowitzki and the Sean Kemp episode of the Sports Plus Life podcast. The Dirk, the GOAT, one of the GOATs, man, one of the best ever to ever do is Sean Kemp, big dunker back in the day. Seattle Sonics, Gary Payton, Detlef Shrimp played for them? I can't remember. Detlef Shrimp. Play for the Pacers, I believe. Yeah. Damn it, I messed up. Well, maybe. Hold on. Everyone chill out. Now we got to look this up before we get rolling here because there it is right there. Oh, shit. Okay, so we're starting. All right, everyone look. Detlef Shrimp. Detlef Shrimp. Detlef Shrimp. Mavericks. This one says, is Detlef Shrimp real? Yeah, he's real. He did play for the Sonics. I do remember that. Razor sharp like an elephant. Don't forget anything except for some things. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying your time at home. Some of you. I was reinstating a bunch of different social medias that I haven't used in a while. And some of you guys are not social distancing. I saw some thoughts out there. Have these little baby parties. Brought some homies over. Quit thoughting. Just put your thoughting on pause for a little bit. People still say thought. Quit creeping. This isn't TLC red light district. All right? Because you're going to have to be in the red light district with what you catch for not social distancing. Let's get it together, all right? Let's get it. Social distance. People don't care, man. I swear to God, people don't care, but we're going to find out who cares here pretty soon, all right? Good news, everybody. My burrito place opened back up. If you guys remember, I think Sports Plus Life episode number 36. I was a little sad because they had to close down for a little bit, but they're back. Up and running today. Miguel Ojito. I'm excited. I can't, even though it's way across town, so I can't go. But I can't wait to go on Saturday. That's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on Saturday. Go get me some Miguel Ojito, and that's gonna be about it, player. Good weekend. Very positive weekend. I played pretty much what I did. I woke up, played Call of Duty. I had a 3-day weekend because initially on Friday, because I'm still working from home. On Friday, I was supposed to be at opening day here in Colorado Rockies opening day. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen for obvious reasons. But we're in good spirits though. It was good to have those 3 days off. It's been crazy at work. But I played Call of Duty all weekend. Played a little with FIFA, and that's pretty much what I did during the day. Friday all day. And that's about it, really. Kind of did a couple things around the house, but that's it. Other than that, though, it was WrestleMania weekend. And usually it's WrestleMania week. Usually WrestleMania weekend consists of, Saturday, NXT TakeOver, and then Sunday WrestleMania, which would have been held in Tampa Bay. But obviously we're not doing that. So what they did, they split it up into 2 different nights. And it was, I thought it was really good. I was glad it happened. Like I said, I was glad for the break in the craziness. Something different than what's been going on the last couple weeks. Even though they've still been on there, they still have been, wrestling. I don't know how they're going to go moving forward, because I think they closed the Performance Center down. I don't know what they're going to do. But that's besides the point. We're going to worry about that later. But we're definitely going to talk about WrestleMania. But first, just announced not that long ago, before recording this, it's 3:40 p.m. right now on the Monday, April 6th. Dana White announced that UFC 249 will be going on as scheduled. No fans, don't know where yet. He said somewhere on this planet, which leads me to believe nothing's locked. even though he said a few weeks ago that it was 99% done. Um, I don't know if they have something. Um, I initially thought Russia probably would have been it, but they closed their borders. I think Abu Dhabi still on the card. Russia's not entirely off because they do allow. I don't know if that was true or not, but they were allowed private planes in and out. I'm not 100% sure. I heard somewhere I was on the West Coast as well, so I don't know what's going to happen. The main event now will be Justin Gaethje against Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight championship. If Tony Ferguson were to win, I believe this would be his second lightweight championship, interim championship. Probably be the first one ever to hold multiple interim championships. That's pretty crazy to think that people have run into this. Now this is the fifth time we've tried making this fight is supposed to be should have been happening, but obviously for obvious reasons again, it's not happening. And fortunate part is like I said, I've said this before. I don't know if it will, especially after this fight. Because what happens? What's going to happen if Justin Gaethje goes out there and beats Tony Ferguson? By the way, I'm very excited for this fight. And props to Dana White, props to Justin Gaethje, mad props to Tony Ferguson, because not a lot of people will take this fight. Not a lot of people would be like, "No, I'm going to wait for him." A lot of people would have been like, "I'm waiting for Khabib. I want that championship. I want the real belt." Props to Tony Ferguson. Hopefully they're backing up the Brinks truck for him. Hopefully they're getting him paid a little bit more, because they're risking a lot to do this fight. They're risking, you got to travel. You also have to have your team travel, and then you're also risking their health and that and this contamination. So there's a lot at stake, and I don't know if it's a competitiveness of Dana White or anyone in general. I don't know if it's coming all the way from the top down from the owners. IMG, I think, is who owns it. I can't remember. I think it's IMG. I don't know where this pressure is coming in from having to make this fight. Although I'm very grateful, of course I am. I need these kind of I need sports in my life. But it's kind of weird that this, this is where we're at right now. Why the for not consistency, the God, I don't know what time. Just the relentlessness. This is, you know what I'm saying, to keep this fight card going. I mean, they get the fight in general, but after Khabib pulled out, I'm like, well, they've stopped fights for less. The whole John Jones, I think it was John Jones. It was, I don't know if it was John Jones versus Chael Sonnen, was it? If I'm not mistaken. That fight was 135. Hold on. No, go ahead. This is going to bother me. I don't know too many. Take a look here. UFC 151, and that was Jones versus Henderson. There we go. So I knew it was John Jones, and Dan Henderson. That popped in my mind. I don't know why Dan Henderson popped. That was really weird. But yeah, that fight never happened. I don't think that fight ever happened in general. They were like, we're just done. Looks like it was I think so what happened was, I mean, this is kind of different circumstances, but Dan Henderson had pulled out of the fight for whatever reason, and John Jones was like, I don't want to take another fight, and then they just canceled it. So they've done it before, but granted, this was 8 years ago, so just under 8 years ago. Obviously different times, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, they've canceled it before, so it's nothing new to not cancel a card. I just don't. Yeah, it's we'll see how this turns out. the whole fight card hasn't been announced as just the main event was announced. So I don't know how many fights there are going to be. I don't know who's actually fighting. Probably find out more in the days to come because we're seriously under 2 weeks from the fight happening. We're literally 10 days, 12, 11 days. I can't do the math right now. 12 days? 12 days from the fight going on. So I don't think it's going to be outside of the United States. I think it's somewhere going to be in the United States. I'm pretty tight if it's all going to be all like Lionheart. Like they have to like hide this. They have to, put car lights in for the lights. There's going to be one rat. Like I don't know what's going to happen. This is just weird. It's all going to be, I don't know. It's going to be different vibe. But I'm glad it's happening. Mad props to all three. All three. Of course, Dana White already got a Lifer award. Justin Gaethje is going to get one, and so is Tony Ferguson. Not a lot of people would take this fight, as I was saying earlier. People would have been like, there's a bunch of different champions out there that say they're champions, but wouldn't take this fight. I mean, I'm not going to name any. I don't want smoke. But we kind of know who wouldn't. We kind of have the idea. I know McGregor probably would have done it. 2 weeks notice, that's all he needs. He would have done the fight. I know Nate Diaz probably would have done it. Obviously, he would have asked for a lot of money, but he would have done it. There's a lot of people who would not have done it, but here we are. This fight's going to happen. Undercard, don't know what's going to happen. We're going to find out in the next coming days. So, hey, it gives me something to talk about other than, I don't know, Tiger King or fucking Netflix, whatever, I'm excited. But like I said, that's what's going on in the MMA world, UFC world. But we're not here to talk about that anymore because we're here to talk about WrestleMania weekend, one of the best times in the of the year. The unfortunate part, same thing with the UFC. They wanted to keep going. They wanted to get something on the cards. They wanted to get something going for the people and for their banks as well, for their pockets, and they got it done. And they split it up to 2 different nights, and I was very impressed with how everything went. I was very impressed. So night one, the first night, part 1 is what they called it. Was Saturday night on the 4th. By the way, it was my niece's birthday. I get that out of almost forgot. It's my niece's birthday. She turned 5, so happy birthday to my niece Zoe. She's amazing. She's funny. And the unfortunate part is that's why I want you guys to sit your asses home so that we get this over with. Is I want to see her. I wasn't able to go hug her, kiss her. I just stopped by, dropped presents off, at the porch, stepped back, was playing Happy Birthday from my car, and watched her open her present. She was very excited and watched her hit a piñata from afar. And so that's one of the big reasons why I want you, some of them bitches, to stay home. Don't invite people over to your house. Don't be going over to other people's houses. I don't give a shit how horny you are. I don't care. It don't matter. All right, let's do it for the kids. Go do TikTok or some shit. Don't do a whack TikTok either. Put some thought into it. That's why I still haven't done a video yet. I will soon. But yeah, happy birthday to my baby girl Zoe. But yeah, on Saturday, it was there was 9 matches on Saturday, and then there was 9. So they split it up. So like I said, this is like an all-day event sometimes. But now they split it up to 2 different nights because they kind of had no choice. First match was on the pre-show. Cesaro beat Drew Gulak. Isn't that exciting? I didn't watch it. I watched a little bit of it. Then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross beat the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kind of saw that coming. I don't know why. It was kind of just like one of those things where you felt the change happening. They need to start it off right, and that's how they did it. Congratulations to Nikki Cross. I don't think Nikki Cross has ever won a championship. I think this is her first one, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats to Nikki Cross, one of the many Scottish, I want to say Scottish, athletes in this card. We're definitely going to get to the biggest one here. Hold on one second. She's Scottish? Yep, she is. I had to check. I had to click. Do a clickaroo to find out. Elias beat King Corbin. Didn't that didn't really strike me as anything. Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler in very underwhelming fashion. I didn't like the match. I was kind of zoning out. I wish the match would have been better. I wish Becky Lynch would have dropped the title. It just kind of getting the whole same old shtick now. It's a whole year now of the man, and Becky Lynch, the man. For those of you who don't know, that's what she calls herself. Is the man. Becky Lynch is the man. Claims can beat up men and is the baddest person around. I'm just not that impressed with that shtick anymore. I think they dropped the ball. I don't know. That's just me. I think they dropped the ball. Shayna Baszler should have gone over. I mean, how are you going to sit there and put her as one of the baddest females ever, eliminate everyone in Elimination Chamber not too long ago, and then have her lose this way to Becky Lynch? I don't. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. They don't listen to me anyways. Sami Zayn beat Cesaro. Oh no, Sami Zayn with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura beat Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was slapping the shit out of him. Daniel Bryan slapped him hard a couple times, and I'm surprised they didn't knock him out. That was a pretty entertaining match. Was it great? Nah, not really, but it was decent. Kind of get it. It was kind of one of those things where you started slow, you definitely started picking up the pace. Ended pretty good, but that's where we can get to here in a second. The sixth match was John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston in a triple threat ladder match. So originally what was supposed to happen is John Morrison is a tag team championship match. Was The Miz and John Morrison against the Usos and the New Day. But with The Miz being not being able to attend because of, I don't know if he was sick, coronavirus issues, whatever. So they turned it into a triple threat singles match. Whoever got the titles won it for their team. I liked it, especially with an empty arena. With an empty arena, you can hear the slaps. You can hear the unforgivingness of those ladders when they fall. Shit just doesn't. It just hearing flesh on those ladders fall. These guys are athletes to the core. Some, just very similar to football players, the way the contact they take. Maybe they take more contact, and a lot of it's self-inflicted. A lot of it is taking these weird bumps, not so much to the head, fortunately. That's why they eliminated chair shots. If they do, there's unprotected or protected chair shots. Unprotected, obviously, you just let him hit you in the head with a chair. Protected means you put your hand up, kind of protected. So a lot of chair shots are like that now. It's rare that you see an unprotected chair shot anymore. So, but I liked it because it showed. I mean, these guys are all athletes. It was a great one. It was a little bit more transparency to these matches because you hear the crowd, you hear everyone yelling, you hear everyone doing this. And you could definitely tell, because most of the time you could even hear the wrestlers calling their shots, calling their moves or whatever. I don't know if this was more like scripted as far as how the match goes. But I liked it. Morrison won. Pretty crazy fashion. Didn't know what happened. No one knew what happened until they actually rang the bell and pronounced him the winner. Morrison, man, that guy's exciting too. If you never watched a Morrison fight, what's his name? Something Morrison. John Morrison. I'm going to call him Jim Morrison, like the whatever. Anyways. Moving on. One of my favorite matches of the night was Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins battled it out for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and then Seth Rollins got himself disqualified, hit him with the bell. Kevin Owens came back, grabbed the mic, called him a pussy, pretty much, a little bitch. Was like, let's fight, no holds barred, and that's what they did. Kevin Owens jumps from the top of like a sign onto the announce table where Seth Rollins was, like an elbow right. It looked like it even landed the elbow right to his grill, and then ended up pinning him 1, 2, 3 with the stunner, I think, if I remember right. Um, I love that match. Only like something like that. Like a lot of these guys, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, a lot of guys can pull something like this off with no crowd. Seth Rollins is a good talker. Kevin Owens could talk. It was back and forth. It was a good wrestling. It was overall old school good match. A little no holds barred thrown into it. A couple bell rings, a couple bangers, a couple haymakers, some closed fists. You know, I enjoyed it. Um, Braun Strowman beat Goldberg. There's like not much to talk about really. They just did their finishing moves, and Strowman kicked out of Goldberg's little spears, and that was it. It just sucks. Like, something like this. This shouldn't happen in the first place. Goldberg should have been there to begin with. But here we are. Because what happened was Goldberg shouldn't have been there from the get-go. It's supposed to be Roman Reigns instead of Braun Strowman. We probably would have seen the same kind of outcome as far as matches go. But yeah, now it's just Braun Strowman who holds the Universal Championship instead of Roman Reigns. So we'll see what happens when stuff gets back to normal, how that goes. Who knows, bro? Who knows? But I wasn't that hugely impressed by that match. Congrats to Braun Strowman. That's, yeah, like I said, Braun Strowman, cool dude, a huge athlete, former strongman competitor. It's whatever, as Nate Diaz would say. Now, the main event, I fell in love with this match. The Boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles. Undertaker, AJ Styles coming out to Undertaker's dong, his music, and then you see the hearse driving up, and this fight happened, or this match happened in a cemetery, kind of by the shed in the cemetery, you know, where they keep the tractors and stuff like that. There was a grave dug, and I don't know what the premise is of the match, but I think you're supposed to beat your opponent by putting him in the mat, in that grave, and then throwing the dirt on top of him. I think that's what happened, because that's what happened. I liked it. I don't think anybody else could have pulled this off. Maybe Undertaker and maybe Seth Rollins. But I like that it was Undertaker and AJ Styles. AJ Styles, man, is just a great performer. Just phenomenal. That's why they call him the phenomenal AJ Styles. This guy's amazing. Great performer. Knows how to talk. Knows how to work. Same thing with the Undertaker. Been around a long time. This is right up his alley. I don't know how it was very dramatic, very movie-ish. But I dug it. You also got the OC involved, which is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Then they had like those dudes, the druids or whatever they wore, in the robe coming out trying to fight the Undertaker. Undertaker beats him up. Then he gets jumped by the OC. Then he beats up the OC. Then somehow they ended up on the roof. And then they threw Luke Gallows got thrown off the roof. And so did AJ Styles eventually. It was pretty cool. A lot to take in. Night one. But that topped it off. Like I said, it was gradually getting better as it went. And ended with the bang. Night one made me want more. Night two, that's where we were. Like, I like the whole Undertaker, American Badass came back. I don't know if this was his last match or not. I don't know, man. I don't know if you can end with just this match and there being no fans. I don't think you could do that. I think he comes back another year and then next year would be it. Or maybe he ends it at Survivor Series. Survivor Series is where you got to start. Teaming up with, I think it was the $1 Million Man, IRS, and then I don't remember who else it was. I'm drawing a huge blank and I shouldn't. Was it Dino? Was it Hercules? I can't remember. I have to look this up, guys. Hold on one second. Everyone chill out. Undertaker. I'm gonna pull it up right here through his Wikipedia page. Cause I have to look this up right here. Is gonna bother the shit out of me. Where's it at? Cause I know it was. It's definitely $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. IRS, I believe, is the other one. It's a YouTube. Dude, I gotta find this out. It's gonna bother me. Who was the fourth one? Because I think he came out with Brother Love, was it? Or was it Paul Bear at the time? Let's see what this is. Hold on, everyone show. Which one was it? Because now I got to look up the actual event, 1992, 1991. Survivor Series. Let me see here. Survivor Series. One. Wikipedia. Here we go. Hold on, everyone show. Let's go with matches. What the hell is this? This ain't it. Is this it? Or was it 1992? Which one was it? I thought it was 1990. Damn it. Come on, Rodriguez, get it together. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Was this the one? Oh, I was way off. Honky Tonk Man is what I was thinking about. And then Greg the Hammer Valentine. Damn it, Rodriguez. Can't believe I messed that up. Anyways, yeah. That's where we're at. Anyways, that's when he made his debut. I don't know. I think he ended Survivor Series. That's what I think. That's just me. What do I know? I would. It would be fitting. End of the year, November. You know, you don't have to worry about training. You could spend holidays with your family. I think it makes sense. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know at Sports Plus Life on Instagram and Twitter, and MRAKACO on Instagram and Twitter, and then obviously Sports Plus Life on YouTube. Holler at me. Holler at your boy. But moving on, night number 2. Liv Morgan defeated Natalya in that first match. I didn't watch it. I was freaking Call of Duty. That's what I call it. If you ever see me say, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm freaking." Well, what are you freaking? Call of Duty. I mean, I'm freaking. I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm playing online is what I'm doing. Playing video games online. So that way, if you're freaking, you're like, "Oh, what's Edgar doing? What's Edgar Mr. A.K. Rodriguez doing over there? Freaking?" Like, no, that's not that. Now that's happening with social distancing going on, all right? And Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley. I love this. I think they had to make that happen. Charlotte Flair had to beat Ripley. I don't think Ripley is ready for this. I don't think Ripley is ready for a win at WrestleMania quite yet. Definitely had to happen. That's probably what they were thinking with Shayna Baszler. Now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I would still would have put Shayna Baszler. You don't make her to be one of the baddest women in the planet and then be like, "Oh, you're gonna lose by a sunset flip or some reversal." But yeah, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley put on a pretty good match. Very hard hitting match. They're hitting each other, man. Jesus, ladies, take it easy. Take it easy, all right? I liked it. I liked the way the match ended. I liked. It was hard hitting. It was physical. It was cool. It was flying. It was moonsault. It was through the ropes. It was this. It was cool. I dug it. A little sloppy, but it was solid all the way around. Aleister Black defeated Bobby Lashley. And Otis beat Dolph Ziggler. Otis being this is like Beauty and the Beast. Otis ended up getting the girl and getting what's her name? Oh, shit, why am I drawing blanks all of a sudden? Mandy Rose. There's a whole storyline behind this. If you haven't checked, go check it out. I'm not gonna go into it. Mandy Rose is a baddie. Oh, this is thick with 2 C's. Never think they'd be together, and then they hugged it out. She helped them win, and it was cool. The whole conspiracy there is cool. Check it out if you haven't seen it. WWE Network, $9.99 a month. I want WWE Network kick me some money. Street Profits beat Angel Garza and Austin Theory, this is another one of those matches that was, if you remember me talking about it in the Sports Was Life podcast, episode number 39, that was kind of last second. Austin Theory filled in for Andrade. Who knows how the match would have been with those all 4 of them there. Street Profits won. It was cool. I like Street Profits. They're energetic. They bring the smoke, is what they say. They all want the smoke. We want the smoke. Huh? We want the smoke. I do. The women's Fatal 5 elimination. I thought it was supposed to be 6. Something happened? I don't remember. Like, this match really wasn't that special. It's whatever. We're going to skip over it. Bailey won, by the way. I wasn't that impressed. I don't know what it was about him. But The Fiend and John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match. So there's lots to take in with this match, and I liked every second of it. If you guys have never seen Edge and Christian, by the way, I just skipped over that, by the way. But we're going to talk about it here in a second anyways. The Fiend, it's Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness, I think is what it's called. They have like a very highlight, very vintage. It's pretty cool. You got to check it out if you have the WWE Network. Check it out. But it was kind of like that. A bunch of different flashbacks. It was a fiery fun house. It's supposed to be one of those creepy fun houses. Take you back, take you here, take you there. God, I don't even know how to explain it. It takes John Cena back to when he was the prototype is what he was called. Ruthless Aggression John Cena. Then it takes him back to Thugonomics John Cena. Brings it back to John Cena of the day. Then it takes him back to if John Cena was a heel, like Hulk Hogan was a heel in the NWO. A lot of crazy shit, but it was pretty cool. I liked it. I think it took me back. It was really, really cool. It shows the 2 different sides of those guys. They can be very entertaining, very, very creative as well. From what I've read, the idea stemmed from Bruce Pritchard and Bray Wyatt. Bruce Pritchard, formerly Brother Love, if you guys didn't know that. Bruce Pritchard now, huge podcaster, wrestling podcaster, and now does something with the head of talent, I think, on like a head producer or something like that, head writer in one of the brands. I think it's whatever. I think it's SmackDown. The one that Eric Bischoff got fired of. I liked it, man. A lot of people are hating on it. Dude, I thought it was cool. I thought it was really, really fun. Took me back. It was pretty cool to see John Cena in his prototype days and a bunch of different things going on at once, and it was fun. I liked it. Like I said, break from the monotony, break from the norm. That's what I like. That's what I mess with. Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar. Very underwhelming. It's kind of like you knew where this was going to go. I mean, I wish it would have been a little bit more longer match. Don't know if either of them was injured. I don't know if that was, it was only under 5 minutes. So, yeah, I don't know what to talk about, but Drew McIntyre won. Congratulations, Drew McIntyre. Sucks for Drew McIntyre that there's first main event WrestleMania, and there's no crowd. Because that's what feeds a lot of people. That's what makes a lot of these moments amazing is the crowd. And unfortunately didn't have that. The huge pop, hundreds, thousands of people screaming your name. Drew McIntyre, you did it, you won, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he was pretty much celebrated in the ring by himself. And that was definitely different. Got a feel for him, but I think it's well deserved, man. He's come a long time. There's a documentary on him. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on WWE Network as well. Go check it out. But the one match I saved the best for last, and it definitely was the best match. I believe was the No, what was it called? Last Man Standing match between Randy Orton and Edge, which wasn't the matches that was recorded about 2 weeks ago, is what Edge just came out and said, because he was showing sickness. He was in quarantine for 2 weeks. Now he's out. He's good to go. But he put on a great match. He beat Randy Orton, Last Man Standing. I thought it was cool, man. They took a tour pretty much of the whole NXT Performance Center. Took a lot of hits, took a lot of bumps, hard hits, hard bumps. So bumps, if you guys don't remember, if you guys are listening, don't know a whole lot about wrestling, bumps are falls. You know, you take these dumps. Bumps is what they call bumps. You just bump off stuff. That's it. It was a great match, man. I thought Edge looked great, man. He looked good. Randy Orton always looked good. There was a time there they fell on like tables or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but they both got scratched up. I think Randy Orton got it the worst. And then it ended. They got in that truck, and they exchanged a spear. Orton got speared, and then Orton came back with RKO, and they were kind of sitting there. It was very dramatic. And it was kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? The referee kept checking on an Edge, kept checking on him, make sure his neck was okay. Everyone did a pretty good job with this, making it entertaining. And the finish was really, really good because Randy Orton had Edge beat up, put Randy Orton's head laying on a chair, and was going to do the concerto floor thing where his head, look, I'm going to use Razor. So his head's right here. And then on top of the chair. So this is the chair. And then Randy Orton comes with the chair and cracks him on top of it. And then right before he's going to do that, Edge pops up and gets him in an arm head triangle. Kind of chokes him out, puts him on that same chair. And he picks up the other chair and he's crying because Randy Orton it was a good angle. Randy Orton and Edge go way back. They've helped each other a lot. They're really good friends. They had to fight. And then Edge, showing his wonderful acting skills, is crying, shivering, didn't want to do it, and just had to do it. You got to put, that's your horse. You got to put him out. And that's what happened. Very, very cool match. Very overall, I'll give it a B+ WrestleMania. Kind of hard to put anything over that because there's no crowd. Some of the matches took a lot to build. Some of the matches just weren't there. You could definitely tell a lot of the makeshift matches weren't the best. So they definitely ran into hurdles, but I'm just very grateful that they put something out and give me something different to watch. Give me something, because for 4 hours each night, nothing else was on my mind. I didn't think about, coronavirus, being quarantined. I didn't think about, work. I didn't think about anything. And it was a great break. I loved it. So thank you to the WWE for putting it on, keeping it going. I did fall asleep a little bit late last night because I ended up watching the Edge documentary afterwards. The Edge, the WWE 24. They do documentaries called WWE 24 where they follow certain wrestlers or certain events going on for like 20, I don't know how long, but just kind of for 24/7 for a little bit. And they followed Edge all the way back from when he retired 2011. This was going to be a life after wrestling type thing, when it ended up turning into, well, I'm coming back to wrestle type of thing, and kind of documented all that and documented him coming back to WrestleMania and his whole thing at WrestleMania. I mean, that one got me choked up. I'm not going to lie. I think I dropped a couple tears. Very cool, man. It was really well put. I just can't, you can't fathom something like that. Something you love like that just being taken away. Something you've done for like 20 years, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, never mind, you can't do it anymore. You got to feel for him, man. But thank God for doctors, which doctors, I mean, if they haven't showed how cool they are, how amazing they are, nurses, they got him back to pretty much 100%, 99% to wrestle. And it was pretty cool. You guys got to watch it if you guys haven't got a chance. Probably find it on YouTube or some shit like that. Really, really cool documentary. I don't see why it doesn't win like an Emmy or some shit like that. It was very, very well done. Very good. got to check it out. Definitely cried a little bit, but that was due to me not sleeping very well. So I was like, oh, when you yawn, and then like you yawn hard enough, which I'm doing right now, and then you get like those tears that come out. You're, oh, that's what it was. That's what I'm telling you. Just take it for what it's worth. Overall, good WrestleMania weekend. I liked it a lot. I dug, the Firefly match and the Boneyards match. So cool. So cool. Props to everyone involved for getting something done. I don't know what's going to happen tonight because I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Wrestling is going to be on in a couple hours. Might tune in. I usually don't tune in. I record it and maybe watch a little bit later or just follow everything on social media because they post everything right away. So, yeah. Great to have that pop off. Other kind of moving on from WrestleMania. If you have any questions, holler at me. If you have, you want me to direct you somewhere, I will to get more answers. Over the weekend, they announced the class of 2020 NBA Hall of Fame, which was Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and of course led by Kobe Bryant. I think they all came in at the same time, 1997. Right around that area. I know Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant came out of high school, and then Tim Duncan came out of Wake Forest. Just legends, man. Overall legends all around. A lot of championships, especially between, Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan and Kobe each have 5 each. 10 total. Kevin Garnett has 1, I believe, with the Celtics. If you guys don't remember, if you guys ever seen that where he goes, anything is possible. You guys ever seen that in TV? Again, if you don't know who Kevin Garnett is, that's him. That's him. Anything is possible or everything is possible. I can't remember what he says. Doesn't matter. He was in a Celtics uniform. No one cares. They were the big 3, by the way. Let's get that situated right there. They're the first big 3. Him, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Let's not forget about that, all right? Definitely all first ballot Hall of Famers, all very well deserving. But Kobe Bryant obviously going to top the list, the legend. No one like Kobe Bryant. I don't know if there ever will be another Kobe Bryant because I don't think Kobe Bryant, you could compare him to Michael Jordan. They did very different things. Very different, just the only thing you compare the two is their drive, their competitiveness. Definitely 1 and 2 in my list for best players ever. Very well deserving. I can't think of anyone else who deserves it as much as those 3 individuals. Rudy Tomjanovich, I believe, was one of the nominees. If you guys remember, he took the Rockets to the championships not that long ago. Not that long ago. It was like 30 years ago. But yeah, 20 years ago. Yeah. 20. Can't do my math. Over 20 years ago. Yeah, very cool. I don't know when this all is going to happen. I don't know because I'm not very familiar as I am with the NFL as far as the Hall of Fame goes. But yeah, very well deserving. Very sad to see Kobe Bryant in there. We won't be able to hear his speech. God, that just sucks. He would have been cool to hear his speech. Just hear him talk. We don't get that anymore because 2020 just really sucks balls. But I guess a little bit of silver lining for his family to know that he's being recognized as one of the best ever. And just how respected he was. And they could definitely hang their hat on that. And they'll always have that. But they'll always know him as dad. But they'll always be one of the most respected men in basketball. Or even sports in general. So they get that. So it's very good. Do you guys want the good or bad news first? Let's go with the good news first. No. Let's go with the bad news. And bad news is Pep Guardiola's mother passes away of COVID-19. She was 82 years old. Very unfortunate. Pep Guardiola going to be one of the best managers, best coaches is what we call him over here. Best managers ever. All those won championships with, all over as a coach. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now with Manchester City. and his mom recently passed away of COVID-19 coronavirus. So yeah, it sucks, man. So just stay home. Just stop. Don't invite anyone over to your crib. Um, if they are, drop something off at the door, then dip. That's it. But yeah, that's the bad news. Kind of a different good news, probably, as far as the sports world goes. Bayern Munich has resumed training in small groups. So they're going back to training. So they're getting back to working out. Also, they've resumed, I want to say training or maybe preseason in South Korea, baseball. So a lot of promising things going on in, especially in South Korea, where they were hit, but they obviously controlled the pandemic somewhat, and that they're getting back. Obviously, they're playing with masks, no audience, so yeah, a little bit of plus, a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's do our part, man. Let's get sports back on. Let's get life up and running again. I want to travel just like you guys. I want to drive around. I want to do hood rat shit with my friends. I want to make, go on a couple dates with some mommies. Can't do that right now. Quarantined, lockdown. That's what I'm keep telling myself. All right. But yeah, that's about it, man. They did announce the NFL All-Decade team, which I was going to go through, but it's going to take a while. Might wait for the next podcast episode to do that, to break it down a little bit more. Also, to spread out the good news, good sports news. Give me something to talk about next time. Find me on all social medias, Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Sports Plus Life on Twitter and Instagram, MRAKACO, Twitter and Instagram. And then you could also find me on youtube.com/Sports Plus Life. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe mostly. Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your mom to subscribe. Ain't no one doing anything. For the most part, you shouldn't be doing anything. So you just kick it at home. Subscribe. Hit the little bell. And let me, that way you know when I post a video. That's it. Follow me on TikTok, Sports Plus Life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sports Plus Live, episode number 40. And yeah, holla at your boy. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. Let's get this shit over with. Let